What's up, everybody? It's John Morgan. Listen, I want to just say thank y'all to everybody who has been supporting this podcast. I cannot grow this without the support of the community who allows me to grow. So thank y'all to everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's been sharing it, everybody who is a subscriber on YouTube, everybody who has purchased merch from me, everybody who just tells somebody, you know, through telling somebody in conversation, who share these podcasts in your group text. Thank y'all. I cannot do this without you guys, so thank you for that. Right now, we want to ask for a specific type of support right now. If you can, stop what you're doing. Yes, you right now. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing right now. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Become a subscriber to this page, the Live Your Purpose Podcast YouTube channel. Become a subscriber. Like, share, tell somebody about it. But stop what you're doing right now. Go to your YouTube page and become a subscriber. Click it. Click subscribe on the YouTube page and become a subscriber of this page. It allows us to grow, and it allows us to touch different reach with different people. So please, if you call yourself a supporter, if you want to continue to see us grow and continue to see us build, stop what you're doing right now. Go to YouTube. Click that subscribe button. Like, thumbs up, all of that. Please, right now, Live Your Purpose Podcast. Peace. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Live Your Purpose Podcast. I'm your host, John Morgan Jr. Listen, I'm super, super excited for this next guest we got on the pod. But before we even get into who our wonderful guest is, man, I want to just say thank you to all the wonderful support that everybody has been showing, man. People who have been, you know, just tapping in with me, whether that be personally, through on social media, supporting by getting the merch, subscribing to the YouTube channel. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful. We never want to take that for granted at all. Can't do this without the support of the people. So much love to y'all for that. Speaking of the website, man, if you do want to go in and support the merch and, you know, purchase the merch, go to www.lypp.org. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Become a subscriber. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Do not be shy. We want to get them subscriber numbers up. So please go to the YouTube channel, Live Your Purpose Podcast YouTube channel, and become a subscriber. If this is your first time checking out LYP, we speak to entrepreneurs. And, you know, I really want to, you know, speak on this because a lot of people, you know, beginning to kind of like check into the pod and just kind of, you know, ask what it is that we trying to do. And like, why do we speak to entrepreneurs specifically? And I tell people all the time that, number one, myself, I have transitioned into becoming a full-time entrepreneur. When I initially started the podcast, I was in the process of transitioning. So I wanted to be able to highlight people's stories who I can, you know, kind of connect with and kind of relate to. But also from a mentality standpoint, from a psychology standpoint, man, I really believe that entrepreneurs are some of the most fearless, selfless, and, you know, some of the people who really get it, you know, on a deeper level. And entrepreneurs also go through a lot of like day-to-day shit that applies universally. You know, I like to call it universal laws. And I think that entrepreneurs have a lot of game to really be able to give and tell people, you know, ultimately be able to inspire people. So that's what LYP is really to be able to highlight people's stories, to really be able to get them to share their stories, to be able to to inspire somebody else, right? So that's what the whole platform is about here. And so that's what LYP has been based on, and that's what we're gonna continue to do, is by having, you know, dope ass conversations with other entrepreneurs. And our next guest is here to do just that. And I'm super excited because she lit, y'all. She ready to, you know what I'm saying? She ready to, you know what I'm saying, to get her first podcast out the way. We have none other, and I want you to help me with this too, because I don't want to butcher the name, all right? We have Miss Asia Williamson. She's a master stylist. She is the CEO of, is it hair extensions?
No.
How you say it, Asia? How you say it? Go ahead, say it correctly. Please correct me.
Pure.
Pure, okay.
So it's spelled like that because it's in French.
Okay.
Yes.
Pure, CEO of Pure Hair Extensions. Excuse me. And the Hairdoc Total Image Salon.
Yes.
Asia the Sum, Hairdoc the most.
Yes. You got it. You got it.
Asia, what's up with you? How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. You nervous?
I am very nervous, but I want to let y'all know it is the Hairdoc.
Oh, excuse me.
It's trademarked, so don't go trying to start hair care and shit. It's trademarked. I will sue your ass.
The Hairdoc.
Yes, the Hairdoc. Do not call me by my name if you don't know me like that.
Yeah. Big energy. We love it. Yeah, the Hairdoc is here with us. The Hairdoc is here with us. Listen, thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Listen, before we jumped on, you was just talking a little bit about like today has been one of those days. You know what I'm saying? So like as entrepreneurs, we know, man, we know that we have days that are out of our control. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be here in the midst of having one of those days, I'm appreciative of that. I thank you, because it could have been easy for you to be like, you know what, John, I ain't feeling it today. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you being here.
I can't make it, yeah, like you did me last week. It was cool. We here.
I was sick, man. I was sick.
But yes, to let y'all know, today I wanted to quit, fill out an application at Target, and just be done. It was definitely one of those days where I had to go home, put my head in the pillow, and cry it out. And then about 40 minutes later, I had to get it together. Because I have many hats that I still gotta wear.
Yeah. No
matter what I go through, I still gotta keep going.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I don't have that support right here and there to be like, dry your tears and keep going. That's just the mentality that I'm used to. It's just to keep going. So, so I'm here. I made it.
Well, thank you. Listen, I wanna really tap into your story a little bit. Then I want to kind of get into a lot of stuff that you're doing now. So let's start at the beginning. You born and raised in this city, man. When you reflect on like being a kid growing up here in the city of Akron, like what's some of your like earliest childhood memories when you really reflect back at like being a kid growing up here? What do you think of when you think about being a kid just coming up?
Playing outside.
Yeah.
I stressed that with my kids to play out. Take y'all asses outside. Bye.
They ain't hearing that.
Yeah, I don't cuss at my kids. Take y'all butts outside. Growing up a kid, it was fun. Man, if I could turn back the hands of time to be a kid again, I would. I've been in Akron, Ohio all my life. West Side. I grew up with just me and my sister.
Okay.
Older
sister or younger sister?
Younger.
Okay.
I'm big dog.
Big sister. Okay.
Just me and my sister, and my mom.
Okay.
That's it for the most part. Didn't have, my dad.
Yeah.
So me and my sister was really close. My mom raised us both, but didn't have a close relationship with my mom. So to kind of give some background on that, my mom was great. Yeah. On some surface shit, but on some being a mother and having a close relationship, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised in an affectionate home.
Yeah, with a lot of emotional support.
Right. So from elementary to middle school to high school, I always was an honor student. 09, y'all can vouch for that. Y'all copied off my work and shit. I was always an honor student, always a leader. Where was I going with it? Always a leader. Yeah. Always came home, did my homework. Mom, y'all go outside and play with my sister, and every day that's how it was. My granny more so raised me as far as morals and principles, how I should be. Even as years passed into a teenager, into a young woman, how I should be.
Yeah, that was your village. That was your village. Yeah.
was my granny. She had us all through the week, every weekend, that type of thing. So my mom worked, trying to make ends meet, type of situation. But for the most part, I was a great kid. Never got suspended, never got in trouble, never was in fights.
Right.
Principal of the leadership team, student council, president of student council, might I add. Okay. I did track before I pulled my hamstring, took big dog out the game. You know, I did volleyball. I was a captain of the volleyball team. I did the step team.
Yeah.
I had my hands in pretty much everything. So I was always
doing something,
but always the leader.
Okay.
I was never on the bench. So that was my mentality growing up, even as a young kid. I always was ahead at the top.
Yeah. So. Now you said, man, your granny was the one who kind of like instilled the morals and the principles in you. Mm-hmm. And is that kind of like where the importance of like leadership and stuff came from granny? Is she the one who was really like intentional about getting you to understand the importance of being a leader?
Yep. So my granny, she ain't had to work in like 50 years.
Okay.
You know, my grandpa took care of everything, started his own business, quit your job. So my granny was the one that cooked, clean, pay the bills, take care of the grandkids or whatever. Yeah. That was her role. So, you know, me and my sister, out of all my granny's grandkids, we was the favorites. You know, and then I was the favorite.
Right.
So, you know, we spent the most time with them. And when I was with my granny, we was outside planting flowers, helping them cut grass. They own over 15 properties over Akron, Ohio. Okay. So they had us out with them, teaching us stuff. We was in his backhoe, on his cranes, all type of stuff. So my granny taught me to go out and get what you want. Because they had 8 cars, Lexus, Cadillacs. So she told us young to, you know, you have to put in the work to get what you want, and don't just put in the work to get what you want and get the best.
Right.
You know, and my grandpa told me that too, and he's my favorite person. I have to shout out my grandpa. My favorite person in the world, total sweetheart. His name is John Bowen. I know some of y'all done read it from him. Y'all need a home, Section 8. They take it all.
So what was your granddad's business? Because it sounded like he was probably your first introduction into like what a boss and what an entrepreneur was on the day to day. What was your granddad's business outside? It sounded like real estate. Was there anything else outside of real estate?
John's Construction.
Okay.
So he had his own construction company, built houses from the ground up to the electricity, the plumbing, everything. Yeah. And then, like I said, she ain't work.
Man,
but
when you being an adult now, having your own and like, you know, building something as big as you have, you know, created, how do you look back on like what you was exposed to as a kid? How important was all of that, you know what I'm saying, to you back then, looking back on it today? Do you ever sit back and think about like, yo, I was blessed to like be exposed and all of that? Because like that's not my experience at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my experience, I've said this story plenty of times on this podcast, is that like my way of what I knew of to like making it out and surviving was sports. And like, you know what I'm saying, playing sports. As a kid, that's what we did. Like, you know what I'm saying, when me and my cousins got together, we played sports. Like that was something that was instilled in us, is like, listen, you got some talent in this, you know what I'm saying, you got to work hard, put the work in, and these are the steps to kind of make it. But I quickly learned that like going through high school and shit, that there's a small number of people who can go to like big time D1 and things like that. And I really didn't get exposed into entrepreneurship until later on in life. But I've heard other people's stories, like, you know, people close around them that was exposed to entrepreneurship early on. And hearing that from you, like, how do you look back on that today, being an adult?
I'm grateful. Yeah. Because it's like seeing that I always knew not to settle. Always go for more, go for better. Yeah. I didn't know at a young age either that was the route that I was going to take. I didn't find that out until I started doing hair in like middle school. Okay. And my friends used to walk home with me. I used to hook them up with the twisties and shit like that. Yeah. So I knew very young that I liked to do hair. Like I said, back in middle school, like, oh, okay, you know, I'm kind of cold with it or whatever. Yeah. So I have a couple family members who was in a shop and did hair, stuff like that, but we weren't close. So just to tap into that, my granny, you know, and my mom, you know, I had them or whatever, but as far as family, I didn't have that. I have a huge family, but it's not family oriented. We're very segregated. tons of cousins, aunts, all type of shit.
Yeah.
It just was on some intermediate shit.
Right.
So I didn't have them. They didn't teach me, anything, or you should do this and do that. So in middle school, then in high school,
okay, so
I continued on.
They weren't really like instilling you, telling you like, listen, this is what you need to do. They was just kind of like living, and I guess you kind of just picked up on some stuff along the way, but they wasn't really like sitting you down like, yo, these are the steps and the blueprint that you need to follow. It didn't really happen like that.
Nope, it didn't. So when I got into high school, I was in my mama's kitchen, busting out hair.
Yeah.
And that went on for a couple years until I graduated. I actually graduated with a 4-year full ride to the University of Toledo for their nursing program, based off my academics. I ain't do that.
For real?
And I turned down.
You had a full ride.
I turned down a full ride, 4 years.
So hold on, let's talk about that. So like, that's a big ass decision. Mm-hmm. So by this time, you already doing hair. Did you already have your mind made up that like, no, I'm going this route. Like what is in your mind to say, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this lane over here.
I knew in high school that I was gonna do hair. Like I knew it because I had a love for it. And I was eager to learn more. So Bookto, I didn't do their, when you could leave school half a day. And I think they had it at Garfield. I didn't even do that. So I was like, I want to learn more, get licensed, like do this shit for real. So I turned down that full ride. I'm like, I don't want to be no nurse. And yes, I'm smart as fuck, but I'm not going to school, college another 4 years.
Right.
I knew I was done with
school wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing. I was smart, but I'm like, no. So I turned that down. I'm at graduation, accepted my scholarship, everything.
Wow.
The next week, I was enrolled in hair school.
That's a big decision. And, we come from the generation where the people before us, our old folks before, they instilling the importance of school. Mm-hmm. So school is like everything to, our parents and our grandparents and shit. So I'm sure people had to they had to look at you kind of sideways like, man, what is she doing?
Not really, because my family. What y'all gonna say? What can y'all say to me? They probably didn't even know. For one, I'm talking about outside family, but my intermediate family, my mom knew, she respected. Okay. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. So I'm not taking a route where I'm settling.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, being a nurse, I would have made, good, decent money, but that's not what I want to do. So I chased what I wanted to do.
That's so important.
My mom, supported me in that decision, and right after graduation, I went to Regency. So
man, what gave you the confidence to do that? What gave you the confidence to say, I'm going for mine? I'm gonna believe in what I want to do. Where that confidence come from?
I felt like I had to do what I not only wanted to do, but needed to do, because taking a route that I knew I didn't really want to take or have passion for, I wasn't going to have the support for it on my bad days and needing tuition and room and board and all that shit. So I'm like, let me take the route on something that I'm hungry for, because I'm going to put my all into it. And whether somebody support me or not, I got me. That was my motivation to continue on with that route. So going to college, no. So I'm going to tell my kids, of course I'm going to encourage college, further your education and what it is you want to do. But I'm also going to let them know that not going to school isn't a bad, it's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. You can find a trade. You can start your own business, because they gonna have the blueprint right here. I didn't really have the blueprint. Like I said, I had my grandparents or whatever. But even them, they didn't sit me down. It was like, you need to know credit. You need to know this and that. So
I respect that so much, because I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a pretty confident person in just my abilities for the most part. But when it came to really knowing how to bet on myself and what that would look like, I didn't learn that shit until later. And I'm really just now really settling into it on some I don't really care what nobody else say. Mm-hmm. This is my vision. This is the path that I'm going to walk, and I got me. And I believe that God going to take care of that, because I'm putting my right foot forward in front of the other. And when you're doing things like that, you're going to get your blessings and you're going to figure it out along the way.
Right.
So to hear that you understood that, you know, as a teenager, that's powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that a lot of people, well, I guess I won't say a lot of people, but I'm sure there are many people who probably, you know, don't have that if they being honest.
Yeah, most people ain't being honest.
Right.
But, you know, I'm going to give y'all the real.
Yeah.
Another thing that helped me make my decision as far as being real I'm very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And I was like that young too. Like I said, I didn't have my dad. Even very young, he was incarcerated. Even till now, you know, I still don't. So I know what he is and all that. We don't need to get into that. But I just had my mom. But I feel like as a young woman and the things that I went through, I needed my father. Yeah. And not having that, I don't know. I just felt like it put a fire under me. It is still I battle with trauma to this day with it, just because things that I've gone through, you know, with my son's dad, and I've been molested before. With my son's dad, I had went through a domestic violence situation. Trying not to get emotional about it. But it's still.
You are sorry if you get emotional.
I'm still, you know, it's still. I have triggers.
Yeah.
But I made the decision to press forward with everything, and now my son doesn't have his father, so I deal with the guilt.
Yeah.
Behind that, which I had nothing to do with it, but it's like, you know, I wish I picked my son a better father. That it affects me to this day, but I move forward. My son know who his mama is. He know his mama is a boss, and my kids don't go without. So
yeah, do you do anything to like really work through and like deal with your traumas? Like, is that something like, have you started your healing process? And if you haven't, that's cool. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
I haven't. Through my younger years, I dealt with that. I tried to deal with it through feeling a void from men. Not having a father, I tried to find a father figure in men. And that's some transparency for y'all ass.
Yeah.
Because most women, I know other women that I've had this conversation with that's gone through the same thing. Yeah. Making mistakes, being out here, just trying to fill a void. Yeah. And, you know, it was short-lived. And then, like I said, too, dealing with being molested, too. Your innocence is gone. And that happened to me when I was 12. You know, and not having my father there while I went through that, very, very, like, it was heartbreaking. Yeah. So after that had happened, I'm like, okay, well, my innocence is fucked up. So men that, as I got older, that I was dating, I felt like I needed to be extra submissive so that they don't take from me, because something was taken from me already.
Right.
So men that I would date or was in a relationship with, I was always like this, and I don't know money shit. I'm talking about being submissive.
Yeah.
Making sure
giving more than you getting back.
Exactly. That's the role I play. And like I said, that was just me filling a void. And that I back then didn't openly talk about, but now seeing how I've changed things and have become better.
Yeah.
I'm able to have conversations with certain women because things that I see women go through, I tap into it with them. Like, I know where that's coming from.
Right.
And, you know, and I sit and I've had many talks with women. They be like, oh my God, like I could talk to you all day and this, that, and the third. I'm not a judgmental person at all because I know how shit is, how it can be, and how it is to not have somebody.
Yeah.
So.
And man, that's, first off, I appreciate you sharing all that, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to, you know. But that's so powerful for you to do that, and like, you may not realize it or not, but just by feeling comfortable enough to just say it and, you know, to speak on it, especially in a public space like this in front of these cameras and shit, that is part of the healing process. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is allowing yourself a certain level of freedom, you know, that your traumas won't hold over you. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that, because I'm sure somebody gonna be able to listen to that portion and they're gonna be like, damn, you know, I needed to hear that in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't share that, you know, for obvious reasons. So I respect you for doing that. Listen, man, we coming off like one of the most historical, crazy ass years in 2020. I know for me personally, it was a huge year of just like transition. Like, so much shit changed for me. I had my first son in February. My mother passed away in June, a few months after my son was born.
Oh, wow.
The pandemic shut down in the midst of all of that. So it was just so much shit happening in 2020 in the midst of like, we don't really know what the world is, you know, looking like. So like, I learned a lot about myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, for you, what did you learn about yourself in 2020, like spiritually, mentally, just period? Like, what did you learn about Asia in 2020 due to the pandemic, like due to being forced to sit down and like sit with yourself? What you learned about yourself?
I actually enjoyed the pandemic.
I feel you.
I'm one of the few that probably enjoyed it, because first of all, I'm an introvert. Most people don't know that about me, because when you see me in person, I talk.
You got big energy. She ain't no introvert, y'all. She lying.
I am an introvert.
No, she not.
And my real friends know that. I'm an introvert.
Okay.
So that's why I'm sitting here. I mean, this little tank I got on is soaking wet, okay? But I love the pandemic. I didn't have no issues with it, besides it was fucking with my money.
Right.
It was fucking with my money. But I was never a person that was out here like that. Like, occasionally, you know, I'll step out, whatever, have a good time. But we in Akron, ain't shit to do. So I didn't mind staying at home. For the most part, I am a homebody.
Got you.
Because shit, I go to work, come home, tend to my kids. I was cool with that.
Yeah.
I learned to, for the most part, that I got my shit together. That's what I learned. That I am a decent person. I have my shit together. With being self-employed, most big businesses did not make it. So I thank God all the time that I made it through. Word to Marvin Sapp. That's one of my favorite songs. Can't sing it for y'all, but I made it through.
Yeah.
And I opened my salon during the pandemic. 12 bands of renovations, flooring, all of that. And that was before PPP and all that shit, which I wish I was on the goddamn list. Y'all that got 20 bands and ain't got no LLC, don't got no EIN, don't got no business bank account, no taxes, no nothing. Y'all dead ass motherfucker wrong, but get your money. So
she told y'all she an introvert, y'all. She said she an introvert.
So I learned the most that I had my shit together.
Yeah.
I was able to pay my bills.
Right.
Nothing went in default. Nothing got shut off. We weren't sitting in the dark, washing up with cold water. None of that shit. Like, that's
super important. That's super important, because in the midst of like when everything is like going wrong in the world, to be able to be settled in what you got at your house, that's a feeling like no other. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to that, because I mean, shit, even in the midst of like all this stuff changing, man, I was cool with being at home.
At home, yes,
like, cool
with going home.
Oh my God, like me and my lady is solid. I actually enjoy her. We actually friends.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
because I had just gotten a relationship. After being single for 5 years.
You got tested in that pandemic.
So we're gonna tap into that. But yes, I was like, oh yeah, I love to come home. And what I learned about a lot of people is, a lot of people like being out here because they home ain't structured, it ain't put together. Right. When your home is cool, comfortable, and it's your sanctuary, you don't mind going back to it. And I didn't mind it for that year. Right. So
that's big. What was your I've been asking people this question like the last few episodes that I had. I'm curious to know what was your dreams as a kid? Like before you even got exposed to like business or hair, like what did you see yourself doing? Like I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about, I'm just talking about what did you see yourself doing and being, like, you know, what did you dream about?
Honestly, the only thing that has followed me from a kid till now is being married. Being married with my family in my home. That's it.
Why you think that is?
I see with my grandparents.
They still married to this day?
They are still married.
Mine too.
Now, sometimes my grandpa be like, I wish I would have left her motherfucking line. But we know how that go. You can't leave her. It's going to cost you.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
But since a little girl, Cinderella ball gown, walking down the aisle, being married. And to this day, a lot of y'all who is married and y'all fucking around and in DMs and a couple of y'all's in mine, we going to keep that. Y'all wrong, but I still want to be married. Y'all know who y'all is.
Hey, you are hilarious, man. I'm telling you, this is not no introvert. I don't care what nobody
says. I am.
Okay, I sure can't tell, man. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, John Morgan. Listen, man, right now, as y'all can see, man, I got on the new Live Your Purpose podcast merch, man. It's going crazy right now. The t-shirts. I got the dad hats. People always hit me up. John, man, where can I get it? How can I grab your stuff? You got a website, you got a site. How can I grab it? I'm here to tell you, yes, we do have a site. All right, that site is www.lypp.org. O-R-G. Again, it's www.lypp.org. Go to that website right now, man. You can find you can find a link to the YouTube channel. You can find a link to the audio platform, but you also can find where you can shop and grab your merch right now. Again, man, check us out. We got the tees going crazy right now. The dad hats. Expect to see some new products on that site. Go right now, www.lypp.org. Again, man. A lot of y'all been hitting me up asking me about this link and this site. It's available. So do yourself a favor, go through, support, shop with your boy, spend some money with your boy. I know some of y'all still got that PPE money. Come spend some with your boy, man. Peace. Man, you said that middle school is really when you start getting into doing hair. Like, I mean, did it just happen naturally? Was you like, you know, doing your own stuff, doing your sisters, doing your homegirls? Like, because when I look back on it, right, I told you, you know what I'm saying, my upbringing was pretty much about sports for the most part, school and sports, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. But the more and more I grew, I learned that I did have certain entrepreneurs around me. And some of the first entrepreneurs I did have around me were beauticians, and it was barbers. Two of my older sisters were beauticians, and they became beauticians early. Like my oldest sister Lisa, she became a beautician maybe around when she was like 19. And she was getting ready to go to school, but she ended up having my niece at an early age, and she ended up going to school to be a beautician. Now, granted, I'm 10 years old, so I don't realize that she's going into business for herself. And I didn't even really understood that like she had a love and a passion for doing hair. But the older I've gotten, I've learned that like usually people who get into that lane have been doing it a long time prior to that. You know what I'm saying? So you said that you got into it in junior high school and shit. So like, was it just natural for you? You just doing people's hair? Like, how did you even like fall into the love and the passion for, you know, doing hair?
It started, I was just doing my friend's hair.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, and doing mine, but I mean, that was it. I don't know. I don't really have nothing too deep for y'all. I just started doing my friend's hair. But I was good at it. But
okay, that's the thing though. It's one thing to do it. It's one thing to be good at it quick. You was good at it quick.
Yeah.
So, but how did you know that you good at it quick? And like, how did you know that like, all right, I'm good at this. Let me keep going. And like, it's something that I actually, you know, enjoy. Like I enjoy, did you just enjoy doing it? Did you enjoy that people was telling you like, yo, you good at this. Can you do this again? Like, what was it for you that let you know that like, man, this feels good. Like I really enjoy this.
It started with the flow of other motherfuckers trying to come. Like I said, I started with just a small group of my friends, and then when my friends would go to school, oh, did your hair? Asia did. So I was having more and more people walk home to my mom's, and I was knocking hands out in the kitchen.
Right.
So it just came from word of mouth and it building very early. And I was like, you know, I'm really good at this shit. You know, and just thinking back then, I was charging maybe $10. You know,
and that's good. That's good money though.
Yeah,
you do 10 people in a week. That's 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's people working you know what I'm saying, working hourly wage jobs wasn't bringing $100 a week tax free. You know what I'm saying?
I've been getting to the bread, but y'all knew that. Y'all knew that. But yeah, it started with more and more people, and I'm like, okay, this shit coming easy. And that was it back then. You know, with me being young, like, okay, but I was good at it. Yeah. So
no, I before transitioning into the podcast full time, I was a social worker at a mental health agency. Shout out Minority Behavioral Health Group. And I would work in schools, right? I would work in like middle schools and high schools and stuff. And like anytime that it was like young girls or the young dudes, they was good at like cutting hair, doing nails, you know, doing hair and things like that. And I knew that they had like some level of passion. I would always try to reinforce it, like, yo, you can make good money doing this, like right outside of, you know what I'm saying, your crib and what you're doing. And like really try to get them to see, like, listen, just keep doing what you're doing, you know, knocking down steps. Eventually you can get into like opening up your salon and things like that. But like, the amount of money that you can make in this industry, it's there. And like, I know for me, again, you know, having my older sisters into it, I didn't really know how lucrative this business really was, you know what I'm saying, until I got older. Yeah. Did you know early on that like, yo, I'm making pretty decent bread doing this, like I can do this, or did it not happen until later on when you were like, no, I can really clean up and make this a... It was later. It was later?
Yeah. I ain't know. I ain't have no idea. I know now.
Yeah.
But I ain't know then.
Yeah. Outside of your grandparents and your grandfather specifically, were there any other influences of entrepreneurs or just creators around you who was, you know, doing business? Nobody. No, that was my foundation. Outside of my mom, granny, grandpa. That's all I had. Family that branched out from that. It's been like that all my life, where it's just been intermediate family. All right, so walk me through it, right? So you graduate high school, you turn down your scholarship to go to Toledo. You say, I'm about to go to hair school. What is your process? Do you go to? Because again, the only thing that I can refer back to was like when my sister did it. But what were your steps? What are the steps? So like, you know, for someone who was out there watching that and is inspired by the Hairdoc, what's the steps that they can take to, you know, become a stylist and like, you know, a beautician? Like, what are the steps that you took that somebody can hear and, you know, really apply?
So right after high school, I went to Regency, which is over with now. They're closed. It
used to be over there where your shop is at, right?
Book Cholzer, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, right by the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went to Regency. I did the 2-year program because I went part-time. So I was still working a job.
Now, do you have to pay for beauty school? Or you got to pay for your supplies and stuff. How does that work?
So beauty school was to me was expensive back then. It was like $22,000 to go to hair school. So I still had to do FAFSA and get grants and that type of thing.
Hey, but that's way cheaper than a 4-year degree. That's way cheaper. Yeah, that's way cheaper. That's still a lot of money, but that's sound like a way better return on investment, $22,000 as opposed to $150.
And I still ain't paying them student loans.
See, go ahead, tell them, go ahead, keep going though. I'm listening. Go
ahead. So yeah, you go to hair school. Do not cheat the process. It's a lot of hairdressers now who, you know, and don't get me wrong, because I started in the kitchen, but there's a lot now who are lazy and want to shortcut their way into making it to the top. Yeah. You know, and still grinding in the kitchen because they don't want to pay booth rent. They don't want to go to school for whatever reason it may be. And I don't know everybody's story, but do it the right way. Because getting caught and shit, you burn somebody, you give somebody a scalp infection, whatever it may be, and somebody come back and sue your ass, then it's over with. You don't have the laws and principles. It's a lot that come into doing hair.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with, you in close proximity with somebody, and you dealing with skin, scalp, hair. And most importantly, you're dealing with somebody's crown that we have to wear every day. Every day. And that's where my passion comes in at. I get to contribute to that. I deal with a lot of different women who have had cancer and lost their hair, women who have went through traumatic experiences, their hair not gonna grow back, and women who just chair hop, now y'all bald headed, so I gotta come to the hair doc and I gotta get y'all together. So it's really simple. Figure out if it's what you really want to do, or even if it's on some secondhand, because people find passion in doing hair, but it's not really what they want to do. No matter what, get the education first. Invest in that here. Yeah. First and foremost, and it's on from there. Yeah. It's on from there. Yeah. So it's I ain't gonna say it's pretty simple, but the process is pretty simple. Right. Yeah.
Was there ever any did you ever deal with any self-doubt on something like, man, this is like taking longer than I expected, or it's a little bit more complex, a little bit harder than I thought? Maybe this ain't the route that,
nope.
I thought it was. It was always clear.
It was always clear. God gave me my purpose young. Yeah. He gave it to me young. And I never take that for granted. I always show gratitude when it comes to that, because I knew young. Of course, I had bumps, hurdles, setbacks, detours, but
you never wavered.
He always kept his hand on me when it came to my purpose. Yeah. I never was like, hair, that shit ain't gonna work. It's always been that. Yeah. Since I was young.
Yeah, that's
and I had jobs. Yeah. I had jobs.
Where was you working at when you still putting yourself through hair school? Where was you working at? Where was your jobs at?
Dollar Tree. That was my first job at 15. I was there for 3 years. They wanted me to be a manager. I was like, I gotta go. Y'all ain't paying me enough. Dollar Tree. Then after Dollar Tree, it was KFC.
Shout out
and
fast
they still
food.
owe me some money.
I worked at Burger King for about 4-5 years.
Man, I was slanging chicken. I was slanging chicken.
It be like that.
Man.
You gotta put your time in, man. Make the story better.
Yes. KFC.
Okay.
That was short-lived. I often forget. I was a home health aide.
I was in that business too.
Less than a year. Left that. Nope. Couldn't do the wiping butts and shit. Yeah. Mad respect to y'all. Ain't for me. And what was my other job? Vision Works. I was a apprentice optician. I was an optician. I was there almost 4 years. Okay. And I actually enjoyed the job. Yeah. I enjoyed it, working with the eye, selling glasses. They do not pay enough. I was there though, because I was, at that point when I was at Vision Works, I was done with school. So I graduated hair school in 2011. Graduated high school 2009. Went 2 years and got licensed in 2011. Failed the cosmetology test 3 times. Nobody knows that. Fun fact about the Hairdoc. 3. So you only get 3 times to take it. Failed 3 times. So I passed every single time the hands-on. I kept failing the theory, the written. Kept failing.
So after you failed your 3rd time, you had to wait a certain time before you could take it again or something?
You had to wait a certain time.
How long you had to wait?
Ooh, don't remember.
A year?
No, it wasn't that long. It was like a couple months before you can go retake. It's way different now, but back then you had to wait a couple months, go back and retake it. So back then, which I think is still like that now, you had to go to Columbus to the Ohio State Board of Cosmetology, take it 3 times. If I would have failed that 3rd one, I would have had to go back to school for another 500 hours.
But see, that's such an important, valuable lesson that people, can really learn from. That, listen, you failed an exam to get your license 3 times, and you had to wait a certain amount of time before you could take it again to pass, and yet you still are saying that, man, I still was clear that this is ultimately my vision. This is what I was supposed to be doing. This is what I love. This is really what I give a damn about doing. so many people would have failed, or some people would have like quit.
Gave up.
Yeah. So many people would have gave up. So that's super valuable and powerful to say like, yo, I failed a few times and I still didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because you had every reason to walk away.
Yep. I didn't have nobody sit me down with the book like, hey, let's go over this. I had to get disciplined and put my head in the book, study, try to figure out what area of the test I was getting wrong, go back. And I was taking them drives by myself down there. I ain't, had no support team with the shit, so.
Man, and I think I know what you're probably going to say, because I, kind of asked you this earlier, but like, again, man, where does the mentality and the confidence come from to not give up?
Day to day, my mindset is, if I fall down, I don't have nobody I can call on. And that's just being honest. There's no shade to nobody. If I fall on my ass, all I got is me. From money to mental to motivation, all I have is me. So it's just like, I can't lose. That's my mindset. I fall down a couple days, beat myself up about it, and then I get back up again. Because it's like, if I fall down, I ain't got nobody. And how I've been brought up as far as not having family and shit like that, and friends done came and went and all that, I don't got nobody I could depend on for real. It's always got in the little back of my mind, people be temporary too. You gotta keep going. I've grown up on survival, where some people grew up, on love. Like, I got my family. I could call my dad or I could call my aunt. I don't have that. Yeah. So it's nothing that I'm proud to brag about, because I wish I had that village. I've never had a village. I had, like I said, my 2-3 people, but I've never had that village. So I grew up on survival. And I read a lot of memes now where they try to make it seem like people who grew up on survival are bad people. Because people, I don't know, they look at those who grew up on love a lot better. Like, people grew up on survival, y'all, this, that. No, I grew up on survival. I'm one of the most generous, I would do anything for anybody. Yep. Anybody who know me can vouch for that and say that.
And with that being said, all black folks grew up on survival, because we all victims of this racist, oppressive system that has made us adapt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In order to like survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people who judge those who may have gone through different stuff, they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because what you just said, I'm still generous. I'm still kind. I still can empathize with other people who are going through some shit. That's the stuff that's going to connect with people who really, no matter what walk of life you in. You feel what I'm saying? So like, that's just goofy. And those people who not really, really getting it. Tell me this. Does it ever become a burden for you? Does it ever become too much where like, man, I'm surviving. My mindset is so much on surviving. But sometimes, man, I might just need to rest, or I might need to like, step away a little bit. Does it ever become too much of a burden for you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because now I'm the breadwinner. I've grown to be, which I'm very proud of. But I'm the breadwinner. I am the sole, like, I'm the source. Yeah. So with that, and then being a mother, with everything else, it's times where I'm like, damn, I wish I could check out just for a little bit. Yeah. And just for a little bit. And
that's, I'm learning as a man, especially as a dude, I came up with a lot of sisters, right? But I've learned more with just being a husband. I've learned more with just like really some of the shit that black women really gotta deal with that men don't see at all. Like, because women are, considered to just hold it together no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, men, we go through that sometimes too, but women, y'all get it differently. You know what I'm saying? Because men even expect y'all to cater to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the midst of y'all going through y'all own shit. So, you know, I'm learning just as a dude that like what you saying right now, a lot of women, especially black women, experience as well. And a lot of times, you know, it be, you know, the people that's closest to us. Have you ever considered have you ever considered therapy at all?
Yes.
But
At the minority place, you said.
for real? Good for you. We're gonna talk off camera.
Okay.
Good for you. That's the reason. The reason I asked that is because, man, you have such great skills of just like foresight and like really being able to like tap into what you know to be true within yourself and with God. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that people never get. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have that at still, you know, young age, that's powerful, you know. And I'm just learning through my own process of healing that like, man, it's never too late.
Yeah.
And everything helps. And I'm learning that the biggest thing that I'm learning is rest is just as important as work. I said I'm learning though. I ain't got it.
I do.
I'm learning.
I will be sleep.
Yeah.
I don't get as much as I should.
Yeah.
But I am a napper. I will go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just talked about, you know, being a woman and, you know, being a mother. Like, how does being a mother, you know, how does that connect with you running your business? Like, how important is the role of you being a mother? How important is that in like, you know, what you're doing on a day to day? Does that make sense?
It's very important. I have, you know, my son, he's 9 and my daughter is 6. They are growing up on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carter and Sari, I love y'all. My day to day is very busy. Very busy. I mean, getting up, that's if I go to boot camp.
Go ahead. I ain't gonna put you on blast. I'm not gonna put you on blast.
That's why I said if. But when I tell y'all my day to day, I'm gonna be like, all right, I see why you want to stay in the bed. I'm up by like 6:30.
Yeah.
Both my kids are in school, so it's dropping both my kids off, and then I'm shooting to work. Work, get off, get my daughter. Wait about an hour, get my son off the bus, run to the grocery stores. I got to prepare dinner, get home. If they got homework, working with them on that, cooking dinner, and the little shit in between. And then it's bedtime, chill time, whatever. It starts all over again. And I noticed after a while as a mother that I was slacking. So my role as a mother, I'm always going to be a mother first, but putting that time in, I was slacking on because I'm like, okay, I got to look at my style, see what I got to do for the week, how my schedule going to go.
Yeah.
Damn, pure hair extensions. Let me get on my computer and see what orders I got to fulfill. Next day, do I got to go to the post office, ship these orders out? The salon, do I gotta hire somebody? Check this and that at the shop. The bills, I got 2 sets of rents, 2 sets of utilities.
Yeah, employees.
Just doing all of that, and then by the time I get home, I'm like this. And it's like, kids, there go y'all meal, get in the bed.
Right.
And after a while, I had to check into myself when my kids start asking, "Mommy, you're always busy." They pick up on that. I do keep my kids in the know of what I do. Because they know, like, I'm not going to a job. They know, you know, mommy is boss. Oh, that's what my daughter say. Mommy is boss. So they know, but I knew, like, damn, I ain't taking my kids to the park as often.
Being present.
I'm not being present.
Yeah.
There for them, always gonna be. Showing that, pouring that love, all that, but being present.
Surviving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for the longest, it was just me. I'm not with they dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's me running businesses and being a mother and trying to keep everything like this so we don't sink.
Yeah.
So I was feeling that too because I knew my kids was feeling it.
Right.
Take some time off or whatever to put that time in. So now, you know, my schedule today, because it used to be, you know, I would start my work day about 8:30, 9 o'clock, stop work around 1, get my kids from school, this, that, and the third, go back to the shop, and I used to do from like 4 to 8. I was like, oh no, that shit's not working. It's too much back and forth, and then I'm absent from my children. So now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm 9 to 1.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, you setting your boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
Yeah, that's good.
And by the grace of God, I'm able to make what I need to make from working 9 to 1. Because some people I work all day.
See, that's so important because I'm a believer that, like, man, when you take care of yourself, you're going to get the benefits from that. You know what I'm saying? God is going to provide for you. You know what I'm saying? By staying true to your boundaries, you still was able to make the same amount of bread, and I'm sure you more rested, you feeling better, and you getting your time with your kids. Yeah. But you made the decision to take care of yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's super important. Big
boundary person. Yeah. Did I always?
No, it's a process. No. It's a process.
But I am a huge boundary person. I've been like that for the last couple years. Yeah. Big boundary person. Yeah. And I had to put that in place. I'm like, I'm not doing all that. It's too much. Work your 9 to 1, get your few people in. And now, like I said, through the grace of God, I have a team now. You know, so I don't have to be in the shop sun up to sundown to pay all these bills and this overhead and keep businesses going and all that. So I'm doing a lot better, and I still can do even more better. But my kids go on vacations, my kids is in activities and things like that. So I feel a lot better. But when it's just you, and you got to wear all these hats, shit, just like where am I gonna find the time?
Man, so. one of the things that, like, and just like doing my research for this episode for you, like when I went through like all your social media, just your tweets and stuff, like I be doing my due diligence, man. Come on, man. You see this the real deal when you came here. Okay, all right. One of the underlying themes, man, that I seen in like a lot of your posts, and like I can even hear it right now in our conversation, is that you are a big believer in like putting in the work. Yeah. And like hard work and like, you know, not cheating the grind, really putting in the work. Like there is no substitute for doing the work, going through the process. You cannot skip the steps. You know what I'm saying? That's an underlying theme I see you know, talk about often. You know what I'm saying? How important is the work for you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Going through the process, going through the steps. How important is that to you?
It's very important because in my field, especially with me starting so long ago, things are a lot different now. I didn't really have that mentorship in my field. Okay. There's a lot of vets in the hair game and stuff like that. But in all honesty, you know, Ohio, let alone Akron, is not a hair capital. Okay. So we don't really have those vet hairstylists who is offering that or you know, just passing down game on what we should do and this, that, and the third. So I always said I was going to change that. But putting in the work is important because I learned young that I had to be a follower. People speak a lot on leadership.
Break that down.
People speak a lot on leadership, which is important because I feel like I'm a leader and that's important. But you have to be a follower in some areas. And what I mean by that is looking at people who are doing better than you and taking notes from that. Always being teachable, always being a student. That's what I mean in being a follower. Not a follower in a bad way, a follower in the good to put you in a better position in whatever it is.
A server.
Exactly.
And a student, like you said.
Yeah. So starting young, I worked in hair salons under, you know, with other older hairdressers and stuff like that. That's what I mean. So peeping what they doing and applying the good that I saw in them to my line of work and how I should do things and execute things and stuff like that. So
what were some of the things you learned from some of the OGs like early on in like being a student that you apply with you today? Like just like a few just small but big things.
Well, first of all, me, I'm separate in the hair game. Y'all can't put me in the same category. But I learned from them.
Talk your talk.
Oh, I'm gonna talk my shit. Everybody know.
Talk your
Ain't
shit.
gonna talk her. I'm gonna talk my shit.
Talk your shit. Go ahead.
To be the best. Rest in peace to Marva. She passed away. She was a hairdresser. I worked in her shop. That's the first salon that I started at. And I always follow her ways, how she treated her clients, the work she put in behind doing the very best in the hair that she did, and her presence. Her presence was amazing. She taught me a lot. I believe I was one of her favorites. She had got really sick. She was starting to get sick, and her husband was getting sick. Her husband was getting sick. She had to be there for him. She wasn't able to be in the salon. She chose me to take over. And that's how I knew, okay, I did the work of being a follower, being a servant. And that was my open door. That was my first open door. Because once she had to step out for her husband, I was able to walk in, and she let me take over. Took over, and it was nonstop after that. I ended up taking over her salon, hiring a whole new crew, trying to lead them, guide them, and be a mentor. And to this day, to the ladies that I have in my salon, I always tell them, whatever it is that y'all want to learn, things that y'all need to know, I'm here, because I did not have that growing, starting in my career. Yeah. And this can be a very, very tough career, because you're kind of like a psychologist, you a doctor, you a therapist. Yeah. I mean, people sit in your chair and they telling you everything. No,
that's super important. How do you find a balance in it all? How you find a balance in being a mother, raising your 2 kids, being a boss? You know what I'm saying? Having your relationship, being present. How do you find a balance? Or are you still, trying to find a balance?
I think I have a pretty good balance, because like I said, boundaries are set. And everybody knows that about me. You had them days where you like, damn, where shit is a little jumbled, but for the most part, I have a routine and I stick to it. But I have my days where, like I said, like today, like how I started, I go home and I'm like, I feel the weight of the world right here. Yeah. And that's a lot of times. But I fell off, transparent moment. But I was big into meditation. And that's very important. It helped me a lot with calming the mind, kind of like stopping time to just become in tune with yourself. And when you are somebody who's an entrepreneur, that is very important. That's right. Because I am somebody, first of all, I've been diagnosed with anxiety. My anxiety is terrible. It's awful. I had it coming in. My anxiety is bad to where, it's waking me up out of my sleep. I'm having panic attacks. I mean, this is real life shit where I'm hooked up. I'm getting EKGs, heart monitors, all that, because, I have a heart condition too, aside of my anxiety. But meditation played a big part in me resetting. I'm big on resetting. I tell my friends, my peers, my girlfriend, I tell her all the time, you have to reset. Yep. You cannot keep going and going and going and going and going until you crash and burn. Because you crash and burn and you ain't good, you no good. Yeah. And I know that if I crash and burn, I'm no good. Right. Because honestly, there's nobody that can put on these Yeezys that I got on and do what I do on a day-to-day basis if something happen. Right. So I know when I have to sit your ass down, reset, get disciplined. I was into yoga. I've been into it for about 4 years, but I had my time where I kind of fall off. COVID really fucked up my fitness routine. I was at the gym 3 times a week. I mean, I was consistent. Boom, boom, boom. And when COVID came and, we was kind of stuck in the house, if it really, really messed me up. Yeah. I mean, even to this day, I haven't fully been able to tap into my fitness routine, because for me, since I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm not really the club kick it type. I don't have an outlet.
Yeah, you don't got no releases. Yeah.
No outlet. So that's what the gym was doing for me. And I was in there getting bulk on motherfuckers. Now I really haven't found. I haven't been able to get back in tune with it, and I'm still struggling to this day with it. Yeah. But that's what helped keep me balanced. Meditation, yoga, the gym. No, that's big. No, but how'd you get introduced into meditation? I'm really big into meditation and like, you know, being still, the power of being still and resetting, like you said. Like I am a huge believer in meditation and being still. Like I'm to the point where like I know that I should be doing it every day. Right. At least 10 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's 10 minutes, I need to be being still, connecting to my breath. Yep. Really like, you know, connecting with just God and just like, you know, being still. I'm a huge believer. I believe everybody should do it. And I'm a big believer. How'd you get introduced to it? My yoga instructor. So I have a membership at the Nat in the Falls. And I was that's where I started yoga. Okay. His name is Ron. He's great instructor. And he told us like, yeah, when y'all go home, meditate. And after every yoga session, we would have a short meditation pause where and I took that home. I first read up on it though, because at first it was kind of weird. I'm like, my eyes closed, but I'm thinking about some other shit. Right, like I know, right. And meditation is not something you could just jump into. No. That shit is a process with yourself. So I had to read up on it, and the more I practice, I'm able to go home, shut everything out, and fall right into it. And most people now, you know, they be like, because you know, I encourage everybody to meditate. They like, oh, I don't, you know, they like, shit, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, it's a process. Yeah. But like I said, I've even kind of fell off from it, but I know it's what I need to do, and you know, get more continuous with it, get back continuous with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, meditation is one of those things where, like, you know, again, man, if you do it 5-10 minutes a day, you're gonna really be able to see the impact. And I know a lot of times for black folks, man, I think it was for us, it was introduced to us in such a like weird ass way. Yep. It's like, ain't nobody fucking with that weird ass shit. Like, I'm not doing that. But what I learned, you know, I mean, shout out to my wife. My wife is really the one who like introduced me and put me onto it and shit. But what I've learned through it is that, like, number one, it's not a situation where you close your eyes and like all your thoughts just stop. That's not how it works. You know, you connecting to your breath. You are, you know, you really are understanding the power of, again, being still. You know what I'm saying? We constantly on the go. Yep. When you running businesses, when you trying to help people, when you got family, you got kids, and you just like, you know, you trying to do stuff, it's constant go. The 7 days go by quick. These months go by quick. These years go by quick. It's super important to just tap in and slow down and like you said, reset. So that's super. I think that's super. You know, super dope that you talking about meditating and everything. Yeah. What's some of the like? Because you talked a little bit about it. Like you said that, man, this is a stressful ass career. You know, what's some of the stressors that beauticians and stylists that y'all seeing on the day to day? Like some stuff that people probably don't understand that y'all
or know
with.
You know, because social media, everybody paints this picture like everything's good. It's the glamour. People don't really talk about the L's.
No facts
at all.
Right.
Entrepreneurship or whatever it is you're doing. People don't run to social media to talk about the L's. Y'all run to tell y'all's business, but y'all don't talk about the L's, especially the L's in entrepreneurship. But with being a cosmetologist, hairdresser, braider, you waxing, whatever it is, the L's, they come. And the thing with us is, if we don't show up, we don't make money. And showing up is beyond being physical. Showing up is putting your all into every single client that comes sit in your chair. Because rapport is important, word of mouth.
The relationships.
Yeah, the relationships, all that is very important. So the L's come when clients no call, no show, cancel, or unfortunate events. They got some personal shit going on, they sick, whatever it may be, or something happened to us. Like, but the L's, they come and they come often and they're out of our control.
Right.
So
you know what I heard? I heard my sister tell me one time. She said that the last few years, the industry has changed. You know, how women are really, like from a bunch of different ways, but she really said that like the way that women are wearing their hair today, it's just different. You know, a lot of women are getting braids, a lot of women is going natural, a lot of women just doing different stuff than what they were doing 15, 20 years ago. How has the industry changed for you since you've been in it that you kind of had to adapt to, you know, just since you've been in it yourself?
A big change for me is back in the day, a lot of clients are used to walking in. Walking in. You cannot walk in the Hairdoc Total Image Salon. We are appointment only. We take walk-in, so we're able to service you, we will. But because I'm speaking specifically for me, I've been doing this 10 years. I made my 10-year mark in August.
Hey, okay.
I've been doing it 10 years licensed, because, you know, I was doing it in middle school and all that shit. But so for me, I have a huge clientele base. So it's kind of hard for somebody to walk in and be like, hey, I'm trying to get a sew-in. Can I get a sew-in today? Like, I see you know, your name on the shop and shit. And I'm kind of like,
it don't work like that.
Yeah, it don't work like that, where you could just go in a shop. Oh, okay, I'll take you. So I could tell, you know, a walk-in, yeah, I'll take you, but you're going to sit with me for 8 hours because I already have a set schedule of appointments, and to squeeze you in a 2.5 hour service is unlikely. And I'm not a stylist that has my clients sitting. I'm an in and out stylist. I give each of my clients their own time slot. My clients are not coming into my salon and they got 5, 6 other people staring back at them. That's how it was back in the day, where it's a shop full of people washing you under the dryer, washing you. Me, I have more of an intimate experience with my clients. So walk-ins, that's a big thing. Time, it done changed.
How many clients you typically doing a day?
Now at the most I'll take 4.
Okay.
And that again, that's depending on the service. But I have my services set to where I'm making a certain amount of money. So I'm good. I can take 4 people and I'm done for the day. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, so it's the walk-ins, it's the pricing. And people don't understand, the price to get your hair done 10 years ago is not the price it is now. Yeah. And they think, oh, because we self-employed, that we just balling. Yeah. That's people's mindset.
No, that's a fact.
Oh, y'all got it. Y'all trying to make all this money, da-da-da-da-da. You cannot come to me and get a sew-in for $50, $60 like you probably could back in the day. Right. At the minimum, I need $150. And $200 plus, whatever it may, like, and people don't understand, you're not going to go work a job and been there 10 years ago and not had gotten a raise. Right. We going to raise our prices too. Our styling tools, our shampoos, all that shit goes up. So we have to set our prices to reflect that. Right. So pricing and walk-ins, it ain't the same. Y'all have to get over it.
Yeah. Man, you said, you touched on this a little bit earlier, talking about just like, you know, your kids refer to you as boss. They know mommy is the boss. Yeah. Are you being intentional about grooming your kids of like, listen, you got to have your own, you know, because you even said that, like, you know, when you was a kid, you didn't have that. So are you talking to your kids like, yo, I don't care what you do, but you got to find what you love to be able to do something for yourself? Like, is entrepreneurship the conversation that you having with your kids, even with them being so young?
Yes. So I have it more so with my son because he's a little older. And he wants to be a barber.
Why you do that? Why you make it
because
like that?
I feel like because he sees
barbers getting to it.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Oh, I know, and I pay his barber well. Okay, $25 a cut for my son, which I think shit. That's fine. But yeah, he wants to be a barber.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, you know, I talked to him like, yeah, mommy, I want to cut hair. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm going to support you in that. I'm like, it may change. I'm like, you young. So it may change, but if this is what you want to do as you get older, here I am. And I'm going to be able to, and I get my daughter involved with the extensions. I used to use her for promo and stuff like that, but I'm definitely going to leave them something, even if they choose, you know, if they
to not have it.
Right.
Yeah. Do you see like a certain sense of pride in them with, like, you know, your daughter helping you do your promo, you teaching your son about, like, listen, you can be a barber, you know, I'll show you the ropes, I'll show you what I need to do. Do you see a sense of pride in them when they able to learn that type of stuff from you? Do you see that in them? No? You sure? You thinking about it? Let me tell you why I asked, right? It's because one thing that's big for me is, like, again, it's about universal laws. So, like, you know, understand the importance of just, like, investing in yourself, you know, doing what you want to do, doing what you love to do. These are things that, like, build fantastic people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to do whatever, no matter the case, if you have those type of, like, laws and principles in your mindset, right? And a lot of times those are things that entrepreneurs operate off of a day to day. And when you instill those things in your kids, you're going to be able to see them navigate through the world a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, when I was working with kids, the kids that I would see and they parents was in business and did business and they had, like, close relations with their parents, those kids were different. They had a certain type of confidence and a certain type of just, like, you know, sense of self that a lot of kids struggle with. And I think I don't think it's a coincidence that there's a connection between their parents being in business for themselves and being entrepreneurs.
Yeah, my kids are different.
Okay.
In a good way.
Okay.
They're not into the electronics. They don't have phones. They don't have tablets. They don't have a game system.
But see, that right there shows that they got good sense of self because they not getting caught up in the bullshit that everybody else is.
They not, and no offense, but I'm gonna say what the fuck I want. They not TikToking. They don't got Instagrams. Because kids are starting young with that. I don't even really expose my kids to social media all like that. Like, even on my social media, they pop up every now and then because I feel it's important as an entrepreneur for the viewers to see your family, real life shit. Yeah. So they pop in every now and then, but I don't have them, you know, sitting on phones and all of that. And not to say all kids who are involved in that, you know, are bad kids or anything like that. But I feel like electronic is taking over. It's in my kids now, because they see other kids and at school and all that, they want to get in tune with it. So I give them their time because I don't want to have them behind as far as electronics is concerned. Schools now, my daughter had to start school first off at home. She started kindergarten, COVID at home, homeschooling on a laptop. On a laptop. So part of me was kind of like, I kind of got to give her some time to do what she do because she's gonna have to get used to this. Right. But on some day-to-day, having their own laptop, own iPhones and all that, no. My kids still got Barbies, babies, trucks, wrestler figures.
They still got their innocence. They
still got that. My kids are still kids. They still wear they Garanimals, Walmart clothes, Target. And you know, they're still kids. And like I said, not to parents who do what they do, but I'm not throwing my kids in the Gucci and I'm not doing that. My kids, I want them to be kids because it's so much that TV and just their peers around them that they're getting exposed to that I think is a little too soon for. So I want them to keep their innocence as kids as long as I can. As far as what I can control. Right. Because I know they're going to get in the real world and they're going to make bad decisions and shit like that. But for what I can control, I got a pretty good handle on it. Yeah, that's good. That's super important. What's a weakness or something that you want to, like, you know, work on? Something that you, like, you know, this is something that is lingering a little bit. It's something that
I want to get better at. It could be personally, it could be business wise. And it may not be a weakness. It may just be something that you want to, you know, improve on.
I would say, being more approachable. And I say that because, for one, I am very territorial. It's not in a bad way. Most people take territorial people and they, oh, y'all crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a very territorial person because I'm guarded, just based off things that I went through. Yeah. Very guarded person. So when I come and sit in a room around people I don't know, I'm like this.
Yeah.
So you can talk to me, but I don't come off as approachable. So some people come and they like, because I've heard a couple times I have a reputation for being a bitch.
For real? I don't believe that. I can't see it.
I've heard from the haters.
Right.
But I'm not. I'm just.
No, you very.
I'm one to read.
Nice.
I read
nice.
the room.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
It's on camera. It's on camera. Very nice.
I am.
Yeah, very nice.
But some people judge others because they know who they are.
Right.
Where you very, very personable, very outgoing. You could talk to anybody. Whereas me, if I get in a room, I don't really know him, I'm kind of in the corner and I'm chilling. People take that as, oh, I'm stuck up or I'm a bitch or I'm mean. Most people say that I'm mean. That's not the case. Right. But don't judge me because I'm not how you are.
Yeah. Well,
that's the biggest thing when it comes to me. So I would like to. I don't know if I can.
That's not a weakness, but I know what you're saying. But that's not. I don't think that's a weakness. But what I'm learning is that, man, 9 times out of 10, people just be projecting their own shit on others. People. That's exactly. Yeah. That's all it be. People be dealing with their own shit, and they be saying crazy stuff to try to like guard themselves, and they putting it off on somebody else, and they just projecting how they feel about themselves.
Okay, I found a weakness.
Okay, go ahead.
Like a real one.
Okay, go ahead.
My spending habits.
Okay.
My accountant is going to watch this and she's going to be like, my spending habits.
That's a real one. That's real.
My spending habits. I would like to. These braces come off Monday.
Okay.
So I will try to, when I'm in rooms, smile a little more. But anyway, my weakness, spending habits.
Yeah.
My grandpa always told me growing up, get what you want.
Yeah.
Work for it, you work hard for it, get what you want. You cannot take your money with you when you die. He did instill, saving money management, all of that. But I took more of the get what you want from it.
Yeah.
And most of my life, I put in the work to get what I want.
Yeah.
My spending habits are bad. Shoes, clothes.
You be blowing.
And I wouldn't say blowing because I don't blow till I'm broke.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, I done made more money. I'm about to go to the bar when I get on work Saturday.
I didn't see you tweet like, man, I had to delete the StockX app off my phone. Like I didn't have to, because
I just cleaned out my closet. I don't know if you've seen lately.
I did see that.
I got rid of 6 bags of clothes. And most of them had tags on them. 6. And I still don't have room for my clothes. Shoes. Sold shoes. I gave some shoes to my kid clients.
Yeah.
Just man. I get a new car every 2 years. I get a new car every 2 years.
Wow.
I have never had a car longer than 2 years.
And they don't even be leased? You just getting...
I tried leasing once.
You got over the miles?
Drive too much.
Yeah.
I live in my because I'm on the go so much.
Right.
That Telluride is gonna be with me till.
Yeah, right. You gonna get so you probably get the Escalade in a couple years.
Yeah, I ain't keeping that Telluride, man. But I'm gonna keep it for a while because I just go and I could be. I'm not doing bad now, but I could really be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just. I spend to cope with things too. Like if I'm having a badass day, I'm what's that called? Retail therapy.
Yeah.
That's what I do a lot of. So not to use that as an excuse, but
no.
that has played a big part.
Yeah.
Where I'm just buying shit. And if it ain't for me, it's for my kids, or damn, I done got a treadmill. I done bought a brand new. I didn't even watch TV before my current relationship I'm in now. I done bought a goddamn 75-inch for the living room. Right. I don't even watch TV.
Right.
Just doing shit. Just wasting money. Yeah. I want to work on my spending habits.
Okay, that's a good one. What's the what's the Hairdoc's goals? You know what I'm saying? 5, 10, 15 years from now, like the long-term play. Like what's your vision? We already have established that you have a wonderful ability to be able to see clearly the vision. Mm-hmm. So what do you see for yourself 10 years from now? 10. I don't see myself being here in Akron. Okay. Where you want to go?
I want to go to Houston.
Okay.
But the economy and all that shit, it's a little fucked up. So I'm kind of waiting that out. I don't know. But that's what's actually written down in my journal is to plan to relocate. Yeah. I want to relocate to a hair capital because I feel like I could really take off.
Yeah, we getting out of here too, man. I don't want to be in Akron no more. I want to be down south. Yep. I want to be close to the beach. Yep. I want to be in some decent weather year round. Mm-hmm. I
feel like I've planted my seed.
I want to be around more black people. I can't do this Ohio shit no more. It's over with.
It's tainted.
Yeah.
My time is running out here. Yeah. I actually have a goal. It was 2023 to be out. Mm-hmm. I say at the latest, I'm going to push it 24 just because I want to see what the economy is going to do because we just don't fucking know. Yeah. But I have my plan written down is to be out 2023. Yeah. So I'm going to leave my salon here. I have a plan with how I'm going to do it. But yes, I see me and my kids, we out. Mm-hmm. I do want to continue to do hair, but when I move, I want it to be part-time. I want to get more so into teaching. Okay. Teaching because I have my instructor's license too, which a lot of people don't know. So I'm going to continue to sell my extensions. I sell the best hair extensions. You do not have a baddie if she's not wearing pure hair extensions. I have the best. So that's doing well. I'm going to continue on with that and continue to take classes, webinars, whatever I have to do to contribute to the mind in my career, I'm going to continue to do that. But I'm pulling myself from behind the chair in 2 years.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I have my exit strategy.
Yeah. Good for you. Let me ask you this real quick before we.
I plan to be married.
I was about to say, I know you got marriage on there. That's always been your dream, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me ask you this: how many do men get in the cosmetology space and do men get into your space at all, or do they just is it? I would imagine that's predominantly women, but are men in it at all? And if
cosmetology as a whole, or into my space?
Cosmetology as a whole.
Gay men do.
No straight men.
Not straight. Mm-mm.
It seems like it's a lucrative business that more dudes would understand it. Man, there's a lot of money in this to but I guess the money is important, but you still got to have a love and a passion for this. And I guess a lot of dudes probably not.
Yeah, I actually was in hair school with a married man. And he sucked. But you could tell he had a passion for it. He was terrible. He wasn't touching my head, but you could tell he had a passion for it. Yeah. But I would still see him around. It's been a couple months. I'll still see him around, and he would speak or whatever, and I would ask him, "Are you still doing hair?" And he's still doing it. He's still doing it.
Hey,
that's the one.
He ain't giving up.
That's the one, and he's married, kids.
Okay.
But other than that, they're all gay men. Yeah. And they cold.
Are they?
Cold.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Okay. Well, listen, Asia, the Hairdoc. Thank you so much. This has been terrific. This has been wonderful. It wasn't even that bad, was it?
No.
She was nervous, y'all. She was thinking that it was going to be all, buttoned up, but she wasn't going to be able to be herself. Nah, this is not that, man. We want people to, be able to come on here and be themselves and share their story because it ultimately allows, people to really be themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what this shit is all about. That's what the platform is all about. That's what LYP's mission and vision is all about. So I thank you, for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. This has been,
I feel like I made it.
Oh, get out of here. Here she go. Here she goes.
I feel like I made it.
Guys,
I made it. I made a boomerang when we was in the bathroom.
Oh,
and
yeah?
and it said, I'm important, nigga. Because I'm here. Because I'm here.
Yeah.
And I've been asked to be here. Most of y'all have not.
Yeah, that's a
so.
fact. These
And
are
those
facts.
of y'all who have, I'm inspired. I'm like, oh, okay. I done seen Nita, Devin, Monte, people who are in the city and is doing something.
Yeah, yep.
Stand for something.
Yep.
That's you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen, I got like a few rapid questions that I want to hit you with. You know what I'm saying? Before we get on out of here. You ready? You sure?
I am ready.
All right. So the first question is, okay, we wrapping up 2021. The year is about to be over. 2022 is 3 months away, which is fucking crazy. What are your intentions for closing out 2021? What do you really want to be intentional about to close this year out? Less than 100 days left.
Ooh, that is a good one. That is not rapid.
It is.
That's
you ain't
not rapid.
You ain't know it's coming.
Ooh, I want to be more intentional about my health.
Okay.
Because like I said, I fell off on that. I'm not where I want to be in my fitness journey.
Yeah.
I want to get back heavily into the routine I had with, like I said, my meditation, working out, eating better. I mean, the money I spend eating out, grabbing food.
Yeah, no, that's the one.
And I want to do better with that because I don't want to pass down bad eating habits to my children.
Right. Yeah.
And obesity in kids and all of that. I am going to be more intentional on getting back into the process as far as that is concerned.
Okay, good. What is your purpose and how is that connected to what you're doing today?
My purpose is making people look as good as me. That's my purpose.
All right.
No, all jokes aside, it is showing up for my clients every day, giving them an experience, making them look and feel better. That makes me that gives me the drive to get up and do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for how somebody look and feels when they come see me.
Good. That's dope to hear. What's something about you that people be surprised to know?
What's something dope about me?
No, what's something period about you?
Period.
That people be surprised to know.
I don't know. That is just such an open-ended question. Because I don't know.
It can be small. It can be big.
Does it have to be something serious?
No. It can be silly.
Okay. I think I fucked up my digestive system because I probably have not passed gas as much as I should because I'm in a relationship.
Wait, time out.
Stomach get the bubbling.
What you mean? You embarrassed, man?
I will not. I can't do it.
You can't fart in front of your partner, man? What's up with that? Man, get out of here, man.
I cannot.
Grow up, Asia.
I do need to.
Grow up.
I cannot do it. I gotta run the water.
What?
I gotta poop.
Listen. My wife wish she had that problem with me. I'm foul. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, well, she is. But it's like,
lie.
I cannot. And now my stomach is just, it make all type of sounds. And it's been over a year. So.
Grow up, man. Grow up.
I am gonna work on that.
Face your fear and fart in front of your girl, man. Grow up, man. What scares you?
Besides failure, because that's pretty obvious, dying.
Really? I mean, that one makes sense.
Yeah. So I know that it has to happen. It's gonna come. But like, damn, I just hope that God uses me in the time that I am here.
Is it dying or is it more so you want to be able to do everything that you got to do before it's over.
That.
Yeah.
Making sure I've fulfilled all my duties.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I get that. What's your favorite quote?
Plan your work your plan.
Plan your work your plan. I like that. That's good. That's a real.
I live by that.
Yeah, that's good.
I have probably 5 journals.
For real?
That I keep laying around because I'm somebody, I have to write it down. I can't go on my iPhone notes or nothing like that. I have to write. And you would look at my journal, I got something here and it's something here. If it's on my mind, I have to write it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the best advice you ever received?
Charge more.
Say less. Say less. That's a good one. That's so important. That's
Cousin Nita told me that.
Did she?
She told me that.
Nita don't play, man.
Nita do not. She don't play.
Man, no,
I see her tomorrow.
Shout out Nita, man. Nita good
she
people, man.
And I met Nita off Twitter.
Yeah.
And the respect that I have for her.
Nita good people.
Good people.
And she's a beast. She's a beast.
That's an understatement.
She's a beast.
Man, it's crazy. Yeah. So when she do come to the shop, she get her experience. And Nita do not book on Style Seat.
Yeah. She got the VIP.
She got the VIP because she knows the experience and the quality she's gonna get from me, and I know what I'm gonna get from her as a quality client.
Right.
She pay her way.
That's good. That's good. That's understanding the importance of relationships. Mm-hmm. That's very, very powerful. This is a good one. If you could pick up the phone and call your 20-year-old self, knowing what you know today, what would you tell yourself?
Mm. 20-year-old self.
Yeah, your 20-year-old self.
I love them to death. But wait till I had kids.
No, that's real.
Wait.
Yeah.
But I'm doing good. So, I took a different route, but yeah, wait. So I think I had my son since I was 21. Mm-hmm. But, which ain't bad. At least I wasn't 14, 15, 16.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Asia, this has been terrific, man. I really enjoyed you, man. You got beautiful spirit, beautiful energy. You very nice.
See?
I said it again, y'all, so I really did mean it. I'm thankful and grateful to have you in this space, man. From afar, I've been able to really be able to tell a few things about you. Number one, you really do put in the work, which I respect. You know what I'm saying? You consistent. You apply universal laws that I think that a lot of people can learn from. You know what I'm saying? Whether that is the work, whether that is the consistency, whether that is just doing small things to make sure that people have a wonderful experience when they're in your presence. Mm-hmm. Those are things that last forever. So from afar, I appreciated those things, about you. So I want to continue to see you grow. I want to continue to see you evolve. Keep doing your thing. Much love to you. This has been wonderful. The last thing that we ask our guests to do is lobby for a special guest to come on the show. Our next guest that we trying to get, and we will get him on the show. We will have him on, in here. It's in divine order. We believe that God is already putting the pieces together for show. Mm-hmm. And I know this is going to be one of the best lobbies that we get right here, because as y'all can see, we talking to an extrovert. We talking to somebody, who got good energy. She not, she says she an introvert, but we obviously not believing that. So, Miss Asia, if you could, please look in your camera right there and tell Mr. Charlemagne the God why he should be a guest on the Live Your Purpose podcast. Tell him why he need to sit down with us over here, Asia. Go ahead, tell him.
Charlemagne.
Get on him.
You need to broaden your experience. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come to live your purpose with your bald-headed ass, messy ass, controversial ass. And come talk to my dude. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm here, so you should be here. Period.
Say less. say less, man. Period. We appreciate it. Listen, another episode, man. Asia, thank you, man. We appreciate it again, man. Y'all go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Live Your Purpose podcast. Go to the website, www.lypp.org. Continue to watch us grow, man. It's been a
And when he posts me, share it.
Yeah. All of that.
Support
all of that.
your
yeah,
own.
Yeah, for sure. All of that.
Buy all his apparel. Every time he has something, I show up and I'm spending.
She drop a bag on me every trip. Yeah, every trip. Much love.
Tax write off, but no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No, she not.
I'm playing. But I do show up. I support. I respect John fully.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Listen, another episode, man, in the books, man. We out. Appreciate it. Peace.